I've been making tutorial videos for quite some time now, and a lot of you guys have been asking, hey Cole, how do you go about recording your screen, how do you go about recording your audio, and how do you make your tutorial videos? Today, I'll be answering all those questions. Okay, now the first things first, I use a program called OBS, and that's what I use to capture my screen. If you look at my tutorials, you can see that there's multiple elements combined to give you that tutorial experience, okay? But first things first, of course, is the screen recording. So I capture my screen, okay? That's the first element there, and that's the visual element. The second visual element I have, of course, is this banner here. If you look at my tutorial videos, you can always see at the bottom, it always says TheMusicVII, and that's to kind of provide some branding to the tutorial video so that when you click on the tutorial, you know that, hey, it's from me. It makes it look nice instead of just having the Windows taskbar at the bottom, okay? Another visual element usually that I have is my camera, my face cam, and I'll be showing you guys how I actually set up my face cam, how to connect your face cam or your camera to your computer in another video. If you guys would like to see that, comment down below, give the video a like, comment and subscribe, okay? Okay, and the third element is an audible type of element. It's not a visual one, but it's a audible one, the one that you hear, okay? And that element, of course, is the microphone, having the microphone set up into OBS to capture a sound. And what it's doing when you record, when I do my tutorials, I capture sound at the same time as I capture the video and as I capture the screen recording. So once we've got OBS opened up and downloaded, you'll probably have like an empty scene and empty sources like this, okay? Before we actually create a new scene, I want to show you my scene, okay? So in order to create a scene in the first place, you want to press this button here, okay? Press add and then call it a scene, give it a name. I call it my YouTube cam scene, okay? Then you add a scene and then you have this empty sources right here, okay? If we look at my original one first, okay, I have the audio capture, I have the camera. Whenever I have my camera attached or connected, I just press this button and I enable it, okay? And then I have this overlay, okay? So for the camera itself, you can kind of see that there's cam overlay and there's of course the camera input itself. Okay, that's the camera, and then of course the PC, I have the desktop audio of the PC, the mixing overlay, which is this right here, this thing here, and then I have the window capture or the actual full PC screen, okay? So those are the main sources that I kind of use there. Let me quickly show you the settings, how I have everything set up in the settings first, then I'll show you how to create your own scene, okay? So if you go to settings here, these are the settings I use, okay? So general, I kind of keep everything the same. The main settings you want to kind of change or that I kind of use is, or change, is output and audio and video, okay? So the main thing I kind of use first is where it says video, I change the base canvas resolution to 3840 to 2160, and that gives me a 4K resolution canvas, I guess. And the reason why I set it at this specific one is because my actual monitor is outputting 4K, so I've got a 4K monitor. So if, for example, if you only got a 1080p monitor, then you just set it to the max resolution that your monitor can actually accept, if that makes sense, okay? So I set it to 4K, and then I put the output scale to 4K as well, and then usually I record in 60 frames per second. If you look at my tutorial videos, you kind of tell it has a nice smooth motion and it's not so choppy because I record at a high frame rate, okay? So before you kind of do anything else, before setting up the scene, it's best to always go into your settings and set the settings as you wish, okay? Then when it says audio, I have my audio interface connected. I got the SSL2 USB audio interface, and that is connected into my computer via USB. And then when it says global audio devices, I select desktop audio. I want that to be the desktop audio. I want that to be my speakers of my audio interface, okay? Desktop audio 2, I don't need that for now. And then when it says mic auxiliary audio, I set that into the main channel 1 or channel 2 or whatever channel. I think the channels for your audio interface, so that way when you select the mic or auxiliary audio, it's going to be the mic input from your audio interface, okay? And then everything else I kind of don't mess with that, okay? And then when it says stream, that's of course if you're doing streaming on YouTube, which I do every now and then. And then when it says output, okay, this one here, where it says streaming, I stream at 2500 kilobits per second. I think that's what it is. I keep the encoder at hardware, and then I keep the audio bitrate at 160. I think that's not the highest, but it's good for streaming, okay? Then when it says recording, I record to a recording path called OBS recordings, so I create a different recording. And then what I kind of do, the recording quality, I choose the high quality medium file size. I record at MP4. The reason why I record at MP4 is so that every time I finish doing the recording, I can upload straight to YouTube without actually editing, okay? And that's the whole point of using that's why I prefer using OBS over some other sources, because whenever I connect all these three kind of combined sources, like my audio, my microphone, my camera, and my screen, it's all combined there, and I don't need to do any editing, like putting overlays and whatnot. Everything is just there, so I can easily just press record on my computer and then upload the video without any editing, okay? So I record at MP4. if you kind of, for example, if you record an MP4 and your computer crashes or anything crashes, and then you won't be able to access the video file that was recorded before. So if you want to kind of access that, like this, what it's saying here, recording saved to MP4/MOV will be unrecoverable if the file cannot be finalized. Example, results of a power loss or whatever it is. So if you want to kind of, for example, if you know that your computer's unstable and whatnot, you might want to record on MKV, okay? If you record in MKV, if your computer crashes or something happens to your computer and whatnot, you can still kind of recover that file because it kind of records, it just, yeah, you can recover the file. And you can also change it, export it, or convert it to MP4, MOV, whatever you want to do afterwards. So that's always good. But I like to record MP4 straight away because I like to upload straight to YouTube, okay? So those are the settings there that I kind of use there. Everything else I kind of just keep the same and just whatnot, okay? So then you can press apply and you can press OK. Now, let's show you how to actually set up your screen, okay? So, your scene. So, if you press scene, if you create a new scene, first thing I add is my actual, the visual part of the screen, okay? Of my scene. So, I press this plus button here. Then I press window capture. Usually, I either press window capture or display capture. Display capture captures the whole screen, okay? Window capture only captures a specific window. But in this instance, I'm going to press display capture, which you want to kind of use. I'm going to add existing because I've already got a PC screen. But you would just want to press create new and then create the new screen, okay? Then press PC screen, and after it will just show you which display you want to use, okay? And of course here there's only one display connected on my computer, so it's going to use the main display here, display 1, okay? But in this instance, I'm just going to show you, I want to remove that quickly and press add and window capture. Window capture is if you want to capture just a specific window, okay? So in this instance, I'm going to add existing window capture. Or you can press create new. If you press create new, all you have to do is you can reselect different windows here, okay? So you can choose different windows here and whatnot, okay? So I've selected the window here. The next thing I'm going to do now, if you can see, is just selected this window. I'm going to add my overlay, okay? And in order to create the overlay, I'm going to quickly show you how to create that overlay just now, okay? So you want to head into like a photo editor. I'm using Photoshop here. And of course, you want to create for example, press file, new, and then I create a 4K file, so a 3840 by 2160. Ideally the same resolution as what you set before in OBS itself. For example, select that, and then of course, ideally you want to take a screenshot of your screen first, okay? Once you take a screenshot, you can actually import the, what's that thing called? The image into Photoshop, and then after you can actually visually see, okay, where you should probably set the line or whatnot. But if you just want to kind of do it quickly, this is the quickest way to do it, is just by importing a square or creating a square. Create a square, or rectangle rather, just like this, and then change the color. Mine of course is like a grayish color with no stroke, just like that, like this, and then just get some text, TheMusicVII, and then I just change it to white. Then of course you can add some other visual elements and whatnot, okay? So once you kind of created this, you can just place that there. And then of course you want to make it look nice, just like mine, okay? And then I just center it-ish. Let me center it quickly. Okay, then lower it down, and then that's the simplest way you can do it. And of course add other visual elements and whatnot. Then after you've done that, you want to press file, export as PNG, quick export as PNG, or just save it as a PNG. After you saved it as a PNG, you can head back into OBS itself. So now you're in OBS, you can actually open up, press this button here, the plus button, and then you want to press where it says image, okay? Then now it says create new image or add existing. I'm going to add an existing image, but what you want to do is create new image, and then you can change the file source of where the image is, okay? So I'm going to press add existing, mix and overlay. And of course, now you can see my image, my overlay is now there. Of course, where it says mix and overlay, you can always change the file location of where that image is going to be, okay? And of course, you can kind of see here on the overlay itself, I added a drop shadow kind of in the direction upwards. So it kind of gives it that nice effect that kind of blends in, okay? So now that's two of the elements kind of combined, done. Two of the visual elements kind of completed there. The overlay, what you want to call it, the banner, overlay, whatever it is. And then of course the actual screen itself, okay? The next thing is now is by adding audio. You can see automatically when we created the scene, desktop audio was already kind of created here, and that's going to output the desktop audio. So if I play something in FL Studio, you will see that, okay, the audio signal will be there, okay? And usually I don't put the audio signal to the highest setting. I usually just keep it at its there, because you don't want clipping to occur, and you kind of, before you actually start recording, and I'll make another video on this on how to actually go about setting the levels correctly and whatnot before you actually start recording, and just doing some practice rounds before recording, because you don't want any clipping, okay? After that, you want to add the audio signal, okay? The audio of your microphone, okay? So in order to do that, you press add. And this one is audio input capture, okay? Then you can create new if you haven't created anything. I'm going to press add existing, the same thing. Then I'm going to press audio input capture 2 because that's the one that I kind of mainly use, okay? Now, once you created audio input capture, it says device here. Which device do you want to use to kind of capture the audio input? And of course, I said I want to use my audio interface. So it's going to use a line in input on my audio interface. And you kind of see that, okay, so it says just line in. So what does that mean? I think it's capturing stereo. So once you kind of put that audio input capture 2 in, you want to press where it says this wrench tool button here. You want to right click that, and then where it says audio properties, you want to click that, and you want to press mono, because what it's actually doing initially is just taking both stereo channels, so the left and right. So you want to press mono so that it just syncs it just into a mono signal, okay? And then where it says, of course, you see balance left and right, so it's a stereo type of thing. I usually put the volume down by minus 1.1 decibels because, of course, you don't want it to be too loud. And, of course, that's why in another video, I'll be showing you guys how to actually set everything correctly and whatnot. Now, you kind of see it says sync offset. What does that mean here? This is mainly due to because when I record my face cam as well at the same time, sometimes there can be synchronization issues, so I kind of just put sync offset so that way the audio can actually sync with the video itself. But for now, you can just put it to 0 if you're not recording your face cam. But in another video, as I said before, if you guys want to see that, then I'll be making a video on how to actually do all these things that I'm kind of explaining now. So for now, all you need to do is make sure you just press mono and just you can even keep the volume at the same, or just reduce the volume a little bit, or experiment, okay? So now that's kind of set there. We have the audio input capture. And those are the main things we kind of need to actually get recording, okay? The next major thing, of course, will be the face cam, but we're not going to be covering the face cam in this video. It's beyond the scope of the video. But the next thing, of course, is the audio, actually getting the audio to sound as nice. Because you may be thinking, hey, Cole, do you record the audio, then do you add effects to the audio afterwards? But no, I actually add the audio effects in this program OBS, okay? So how do I do that? I go to where it says audio input capture and I press filters. And then here, you can actually insert some filters. So yours will be empty. What you want to do is press this plus button, and then press where it says VST2.x plugin. And then once you press that plugin button, you can actually insert a plugin. Then you press this button here, and after you select the plugin that you want to use, of course, you need to have plugins installed onto your computer, okay? These are plugins that you use with the DAW itself, and I use the virtual mix rack, okay? The reason why I like using the virtual mix rack because it sounds good. And you can tell that every single tutorial that I use, there's compression, there's EQ, there's nice effects, and it sounds proper good. Okay, so you want to press open plugin interface. After you open the plugin interface, you can kind of see, okay, cool, it opens up with the plugin that you used, okay? And I have my own preset for how I want my audio to sound like, and for me to get that, I just need to press this button here. If you don't know how to use virtual mix rack, you can use other plugins, but this is the one I'm using, and I'll show you how I use it. Then I press the OBS microphone here. This is the preset I use. I'm going to show you the effects on it as well. Now, okay, so this is the OBS preset that I kind of use whenever I record into OBS. The first thing I have, of course, is a gate. Then I have a compressor. Then I have an EQ. Then I have this trimmer to kind of make the volume louder, okay? So the reason why I use a gate initially is because, for example, if you're recording a tutorial, there's a lot of background noise in here. There's a lot of background noise everywhere else and whatnot. Use the gate to kind of, you know, not include unnecessary audio. Then I use the compressor. I compress after the gate because if you compress before the gate, you're going to introduce all that background noise, okay? After I've done that, I EQ it, so then of course add the trimmer, okay? This is more if you know what audio, if you specialize in audio engineering, you kind of understand why I'm adding these plugins and these effects rather, okay? So if you didn't want to add any plugin, if you don't have any plugins itself, you can also press this add button and then add your own compressor, add a gain, add a limiter and whatnot. I don't think it has an EQ just like that, but if you wanted to add the EQ, you can download some free equalization plugins, EQ plugins, and then actually introduce it as a plugin. If you guys want me to kind of show you that more in depth, then give a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be doing that in another video in the future, okay? So that's how I get my audio to sound so crisp like that without actually needing to actually effects or make effects to the video afterwards, okay? So after all of that, you're basically done, okay? And then you just want to press start recording, and after the video or the video will record to your destination folder, okay? Now you're probably thinking, okay, cool, I understand how to use OBS now, thank you so much, Cole. The next thing you're probably thinking about is how do I record my FL Studio audio, okay? So if we go into FL Studio now, to record the audio, if you know that, okay, if you're using your audio interface, you know that, okay, you can't necessarily record the audio from FL Studio if you're using an audio interface onto OBS. So in order to tackle that problem, press options, press audio settings, and where it says input output device, you want to select the device as FL Studio ASIO. So the output of FL Studio can be the input for your desktop audio in OBS, if that makes sense, okay? So you just want to make sure it's FL Studio ASIO or any type of ASIO device like this, mainly FL Studio ASIO. Okay, if you do it this way, you'll be able to actually record your FL Studio audio. Okay, but the only thing is, if you're trying to record your if you connect to the microphone into your audio interface and trying to record into FL Studio at the same time, you notice that there's greater latency to when you record it. So that's why, of course, when you use FL Studio SEO, this is the lowest buffer length you can actually choose. If you use your audio interface, you can see that you can go to lower buffer lengths here, or buffer sizes here. Lowest I can go to is 16. Okay, so that's essentially how to actually record using OBS. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, comment down below what you want to see next, and if there's any other questions that you kind of have regarding this topic or subject. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.